Well, hey guys, good evening and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm glad that you decided to join me here this evening. This is the very last episode of, show number 10, series 5. So this wraps this up today. We got a lot to talk about here. And before we get started, if this is your very first time here, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you and welcome. If you've been here many times before, I want to say welcome back and thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate that you're here. And we've got a lot of great stuff to share with you tonight. So we think about lots of stuff and motivation tonight. If you have never been here before or you've been here before, go check out believemeachieve.com. That is right after the show. And you can do that very easily by visiting believemeachieve.com. You can get my short form content, you can get my long form content, and you can get so much more. So definitely check that out, guys, because I think you will enjoy all the short form content, the long form content, the articles, and much more, guys. Much, much more. So if you're hungry or maybe you're thirsty or what have you, feel free to go grab something delicious from the kitchen, whether that's water, whether that's a snack, or whether that is just, maybe it's just something like a piece of fruit. It could be anything that you want, guys. It doesn't really matter to me. But I think it's important to get something so that you are definitely, how can I say, not hungry and not famished. So without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and kick tonight's show off. All right. Again, a welcome to everyone. I really appreciate that. This is Inspirations for Your Life. This is Series 5, Show 10, Episode number 7. We're talking all about momentum, action, and living deliberately this week. That's what it's all about. Who am I? Well, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm also an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And it is my privilege and pleasure to be here with you this evening. And pretty soon I will be a published author. Really excited for that. So tonight I'm diving into how consistent action, deliberate choices, and focused momentum create unstoppable success. Each thing that I'm sharing with you tonight is designed to help you take control of your time, your energy, and of course your outcomes. Now, transforming small actions into major achievements might not seem easy, but with consistency, it can be a lot easier than you thought. Momentum comes from consistent action. Number one, success isn't a burst. It's built one step at a time. Show up every day, no excuses. It's not about showing up once, guys. It's about doing it every single day and doing it consistently. And so when we think about consistency and we think about showing up, there's a lot that's going on in our life if we can just understand, what that is. And showing up is probably the hardest part for a lot of people. How do you show up? What do you do, especially when things are maybe not going the way that you expected them to go? I want to let you know that there are definitely some big benefits when you show up every single day in your life. So that's an important thing to understand. And I think the more we understand that, the more that we can, be better for ourselves and we can be better for others, right? I think that's a very important thing that a lot of people, again, don't realize, but it's something that you have the power to actually control. So that's interesting, guys. A very interesting thing. And I want to tell you that maybe you're saying to me, John, this doesn't make sense. Maybe you don't know how to show up or why you should show up. I'm here to tell you, you definitely want to show up and you want to do it consistently every single day. Because if you don't do it consistently, excuse me, you will find out that you're going to get depressed. You're going to find out that not only you're not going forward, you're actually rocking backwards. Yeah. This happens because we haven't grown. And when we push ourselves just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit past that envelope, then we can make some major, major differences. But it takes us to understand some stuff. And so showing up again is not the easiest thing for us to really understand. But we all have the power to show up in our lives. And so showing up is part of life. It's a big part of success. And if we don't understand that piece, then how can we ever go anywhere? How can we ever do anything? And I think that's a huge piece for a lot of people to, understand. How do I become, that new piece, that new thing? How do I do it? And I think it all comes down to the fact that it comes down to our attitude. Yeah, it comes down to our attitude, and our attitude allows us to become a better version of ourselves. You've probably heard before the attitude of gratitude. So our attitude actually determines our altitude. Yes, that's key. Number two, guys, action converts ideas into results. Thoughts alone, they're not enough. Execution turns potential into measurable impact. Living deliberately multiplies effort. Conscious choices amplify the value of every minute you invest. Every minute, everything in life is consistent. Remember that, guys. Number four, avoid forbidden shortcuts. Instant gratification steals long-term gains. True success is earned steadily. Number five, momentum grows with focus. Energy scattered is energy wasted. Align actions to your priorities. Number six, action creates clarity. Movement breaks mental fog. Decisions become obvious when you act consistently. Number seven, guys, deliberate choices prevent reactive mistakes. Pause before responding and make choices that serve your goals. A lot of people make choices because of a potential windfall of money they think they're going to see, but really they're acting out of non-integrity, and I think that's a serious, serious problem. Number eight, guys, small actions compound. Daily steps accumulate into the results you'd never achieve in one giant leap. Number nine, avoid distractions that break momentum. Social media, emails, and unplanned tasks can derail consistent progress in your life. So it's important, guys, that you learn right now how to guard your time. I'm saying this because time has a way of just, eroding. And that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. Your time is precious, guys. Treasure it. Number 10, routines accelerate forward motion. Habits are the engine of momentum. Create routines that automate success in your life. Okay? And that's important. Using systems, creating routines, we can become better versions of ourselves. But the choice is not a one-time choice. It's something we have to keep adapting to in life. And the more we adapt to it, the more that we can say, wait a minute, you know what? I think I understand this now. I think I know why something is going a different way. And it's because of an action or one that we didn't take. Okay. That's an interesting caveat. An action that we take or an action that we don't take. Number 11, action reinforces confidence. Every completed step builds belief in your ability to execute on bigger goals. But it all starts with a belief, guys. That's where it starts. It starts with one belief, and that belief has the ability to domino down and help us into other areas of our life. So that's a really important thing to understand, and it's key in every area of our life. I think a lot of people do things not because they should, only because they can. I think a lot of people today, for whatever reason, they get confused because of the moment that they are in. The moment that they're in creates this, I'll call it an illusion, probably the best way to say it. It's an illusion. And this illusion gives us misinformation, information that probably is being, in all honesty, it's being distorted. Yeah, it's being distorted because somebody wants to make a fast buck, etc. Number 12, guys, deliberate living reduces stress. When your choices are intentional, uncertainty and overwhelm decreases. Now, that might not seem like it happens overnight, but it does happen and it can definitely work. But it's about consistency, right? It's about integrity. Anything that you push forward without a good foundation, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. And that's something I think a lot of people just don't seem to get. If we start out with good stuff, good ingredients, we have a great thing in our life, right? We have a very great thing. And that great thing is something a lot of people they just don't understand. They understand like the world, they don't understand a lot of things. And that's an important piece. And that piece is the fact that a lot of people get stuck because of what society tells them. Now, what society tells them could be right, could be wrong. Half the times, guys, I gotta be honest with you, it's usually wrong. Yeah. And it's wrong because of a purposeful intention to mislead you. All right. That's pretty bad when that happens. But it does happen. And I think a lot of people try to just, they try to move forward with it, but it's not always the best thing for everyone involved, right? I always said you have to do something for the greater good of all parties involved. If you don't do something like that, then it becomes a mess, guys. It becomes basically let's say a trial for power. A trial for power. And that trial for power is not something that a lot of people really understand. All they know, guys, is that it's happening. And the fact that it's happening now is something, again, that a lot of people, they just don't get it. Okay. And by getting it, I mean, they just don't understand. And so if we knew what that was, right? Or we knew why somebody was doing something, maybe that would change something for us. Like maybe. But a lot of times we're going by peer pressure. We're going by the crowd. And that crowd, guys, is after one thing. You know what that is? It's money. They don't care who they lie to, who they mislead, because with them, it's all about the bottom line. It's about the dollar. Okay? It's about the dollar. And it being, let's say, non-allegiant to you or being disrespectful to you is going to get them to yield more money. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to be disrespectful to you. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, that's the truth, guys. Number 13, avoid forbidden paths. Don't chase shortcuts that compromise your integrity, your health, or your long-term outcomes. Even though I hear people saying, oh, it'll be a lot easier to do that. No, it's going to cost you more in the long run. Number 14, momentum requires resilience. Challenges will rise. Persistence keeps you moving when others just stop cold. Number 15, guys, actions strengthen discipline. Every decision to act reinforces your capacity to stay on track. Number 16, deliberate living clarifies priorities. Conscious alignment shows what truly deserves your energy. Yeah. Number 17, guys, avoid shortcuts, undermining goals, Quick fixes may seem tempting, but in the long run, they often slow the long-term progress, and they also may derail you. It could cause you to go backwards, and that's not something that's pretty to talk about. But these things are happening. Number 18, guys, number 18. Momentum builds belief in vision. Each forward step proves to yourself that your vision is achievable. Okay. Number 19, action ensures accountability. Results come from measurable effort, not intention alone. So intention and core values are important, okay? But they're not everything. We have to realize that it's kind of a puzzle to getting this to work. You can't just have one piece. You need the entire ensemble, or you can't discover what the picture is in the puzzle. Number 20, guys, living deliberately creates authority. When you consistently execute, others naturally trust your expertise. But this does not happen on day one. A lot of people are hemming and hawing. I said to you this story before. No one wants to join when the train is safely in the station or when the airplane is safely in the hangar or on the runway. They risk their lives to be part of something when it's moving at light speed. That just tells me people don't want to be part of development. They want to just show up. That's a little selfish if you ask me. It's a little selfish. Number 21, avoid energy draining behaviors. Protect focus by cutting the activities and the people that deplete rather than build you. You get people like this every day. It could be your neighbors. It could be even some friends. When they deplete you and your energy goes to zero, you're useless. There's not too much you can do. So be mindful of the fuel you have and monitor it, because if something gets out of whack, that means you need to change something, okay? Like change the people you hang around with. Number 22, guys, momentum compounds through wins. Celebrate those small victories. They create the snowball effect toward major success. They don't happen overnight, but they build over time, just like a very tiny little snowball. Slowly gets bigger, 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 bigger. And before you know it, you have this huge boulder of a snowball. But that evolves over time. Number 23, guys. Action aligns energy with values. When your work reflects your principles, momentum flows effortlessly. When your principles aren't aligned with what you're doing, that's when the magic happens, guys. You have to be in alignment. Number 24, guys. Deliberate choices strengthen identity. Every decision reinforces who you are and what you stand for. And I said before, it doesn't matter so much what you're doing a lot of times in public. It sometimes matters what you're doing in private. Right? That's a key, guys. And if you know this one thing about being intentional, about alignment, about knowing your decisions, about reinforcing who you are, and knowing how you show up, only then, guys, can you start making change. You don't make change overnight. You make change over consistent involvement, steady involvement, right? And when something's steady, you keep moving forward every single day. But lots of people out there make the decision they think other people want them to take. It's not the one in line with their best interest or even the other person's best interest. It's the one that appears to be fake. It's the one that's after, that's right, the other person's possessions. Number 25, guys, avoid distractions eroding progress. Maintain a laser zone around high impact tasks and decisions. Don't just fire off an answer because you think you got to make a decision. If you make the wrong decision, that can be very costly, extremely costly. So be careful when you're making certain decisions. Number 26, guys, momentum transforms effort into confidence. Each step forward reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve. So our achievement comes from a mindset. The mindset allows us to propel forward with discipline and endurance. That's how that works. Number 27, guys, action maintains movement through challenges, right? You keep moving, you get out of the challenge. You stop, then the challenge is still around you. Consistent motion keeps you ahead, even when obstacles disappear right before your very eyes. Keep moving, you keep progressing, you get closer to success. Number 28, guys, deliberate living ensures impact. Thoughtful action creates outcomes that matter, not just the activity. Again, I know a lot of people that do activities and like, oh, I'm successful. Not just because you did an activity. I said before on another episode, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're going to be successful. That's an illusion that a lot of people have got the notion of that's true. It's not true. Nope. Not true. Number 29, guys. Avoid shortcuts that compromise integrity. True success never comes at the cost of your values. If it does, it's time to reevaluate your decisions and what success is meaning for you, because you're walking into a trap. Maybe one you won't see today or tomorrow or next month, this quarter, or even this year, but you're walking into a trap. And by the time you figure it out, it'll be too late. It'll be too costly. Number 30, guys. Momentum plus action plus deliberate living equals unstoppable success. Let me say that a couple times again. Momentum plus action plus deliberate living equals unstoppable success. Momentum plus action plus deliberate living equals unstoppable success. And remember, guys, success minus combining these three principles, and, well, nothing can stop you. Success is not an illusion. Success is not something you do because you want to impress somebody. Success is something you do so you can have a better life. I said to you before, you can either survive, which a lot of people are doing in life, or you can thrive. When you thrive, you obviously survive, and life is a lot easier for you when you learn how to thrive. Surviving, just breathing, just going through the motions, but not really enjoying life. No. You're like on a merry-go-round. You're spinning, right? You know you're spinning, but you're not really enjoying the ride. You're not taking in maybe the scenery you're seeing. This is not a roller coaster. You're not taking in that scenery. I think a lot of people go through life every day. They go through the motions, and then they're unhappy because they're not where they want to be just because they've been going through the motions. They haven't really done anything of value, but they're going through the motions. The motions are basically half-baked for them. That's very important, guys. Some people do things consistently, but they don't do them with their full heart in place. Heart adds character. Character develops, you ready, ladies and gentlemen, your integrity. Integrity. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to accelerate your clarity, your focus, and your personal as well as your business power, I'm going to invite you to stop by believemeachieve.com so you can check out more of my amazing, inspiring creations. That's short form content like reels, articles, shows like this show, my tech show. And when you can appreciate that, only when you can appreciate that, you'll be able to go forward. I've said this many times before. We have to practice becoming grateful, because when we do, more things in our life will show up that we can become grateful for. More things will show up in our life that we can become grateful for. If we think about momentum, and we think about the fact that momentum is needed to keep something in motion. We've learned this from Einstein. Right? If it keeps something in motion, it stays in motion until either A, it runs out of fuel or gas, supply source, or we learn that it runs out of energy, right? Or maybe something hits it, and that caused it to stop. So those are important things, guys. So do check out believemeachieve.com 24/7, 365 days a year. We never take a break there. We're always available for you. And yeah, you could digest some of that great content on there and exercise your way of life to build deliberate momentum in your life right now. Remember, success is not about random burst. It's about consistent, intentional, aligned action. So catch the latest episode of this show, and you can catch other shows at believemeachieve.com. I'll catch you real soon, everyone. And remember, keep the momentum forward if you want to stay successful.